Welcome back, everybody. This is Dave the Gamer. Today we're going to be looking at the best in slot coming into phase 4 and kind of what to look out for, what items you want to get up until ZG's release. But yeah, let's jump into this. So as you see here, this is one of my favorite websites as far as looking up different guides. It's called WoW is Classsic. What is amazing about it is for each class and each phase that comes out, it gives you a pretty dang good idea of what items you want to get, who they drop off of, what enchants you get. So they pretty much tell you everything. There is some things you might disagree with, or some other options that are out there that it doesn't really talk about. So I just wanted to go over it and kind of show you my thoughts on everything. So let's start at the top. We're going to work our way through. This is going into phase 4, what items to look for. So starting at the Helm, you're going to go with the Circuit of the Mind Flayer off Neff. This is an amazing helmet, 2% crit, and you also get great spell damage. Now my guild itself, a little bit more hardcore. I don't think that really has to do anything, but it's more prioed to mages to start. And a lot of these items, I'll try to talk a little bit about prio, who gets priority on it. But, at the end of the day, everybody's going to end up getting these. But the Circuit of Mind Flayer is a great helmet. Another alternative of the helmet is you get the Oni tier helmet, tier 2 helmet. And if you went that direction, you'd go the tier 2 helm, tier 2 shoulders, and tier 2 belt. That would give you the 3-piece bonus that you're going to get from that. Now, if you wanted a little upgrade past that, you could also go rank 10, which with the rank 10, you're going to want the helmet and the shoulders for rank 10. So there's a couple other options depending on, while you're waiting for your turn, things that you could get in the meantime. With all helmets, you're always going to get the Warlock Buff, which is coming out of ZG. It's going to give you 18 spell power and 10 stamina. Not as good as the mages that get a % hit somehow on their enchants. I don't understand, but I'm jealous, just saying. And this same enchant's going to be for your helm and your legs, as you see. Going to your neck, Choker of the Fire Lord, coming off Ragaros. And obviously an amazing necklace that's been good for many phases now. It's going to stay good for a while also. Some alternatives to this one is in MC, there's another trinket or another amulet that drops that's plus 18. Not as many people roll on it because it's not BIS. That's currently what I just got. And I'm okay with that for now. Or you could also, off the Dark Moon Fair, you can turn in 1,200 tickets to get a amulet that has plus 22 spell power. So that's a great alternative. So there's many different alternatives you can get in the meanwhile of waiting for these items to be your turn. And I just wanted to shine some light on that. So for the shoulders, Mantle of the Black Cabal. Like I said, 34 spell power, great shoulders. These shoulders, that's what I'm saying. If you are ranked 10, you could have shoulders and helm, or you could have the tier 2 helm, shoulders, and belt. And personally myself, I would rather pass up on the Cabal. I'd rather pass up on the helm and use my rank 10. So then in return, I could ask, okay, look, I'll pass on those items, but I really want the Nephilim's tier. So it's a kind of a give and a take scenario. So there's some items that I would pass up on to be able to get other items. Now with all the shoulders, you're going to get the plus 18 spell power. I believe you got to be exalted for this also, along with the other enchants. For your back, you're going to want the Cloak of Consumption. An excellent back piece that gives you the 1% hit. Really, Warlocks need this hit. With the back piece, you're going to put the plus 5 resist all to there. Now, another example with this cloak. Now, you could go for the cloak in BWL that's like plus 34 spell power, or I forget the exact name. But if you go that direction, you might fall further down the list on getting the Cloak of Consumption. So I'd rather pass up on that, knowing ZG is going to come out basically a week or two from when this video releases. Now, the big thing ZG is going to be coming out with is the Bloodvine set. So every single caster is going to want the Bloodvine set. And if you can't tell, my cat is just all about getting into videos now. He used to be like scared, but yeah, you'll see him in a bunch of videos. But anyways, the Bloodvine set is an excellent tier set that every single caster is going to want. Really benefits Warlocks, because we finally get some hit. With the 3-piece set, you're going to end up getting 4% hit off it. It actually got pretty decent spell power also along with it, and other stats. And most hardcore guilds are also going to make you get tailoring to 300, because as you see the set bonus, you're going to get an additional 2% crit chance, which is amazing. Overall, an amazing set that you're going to be using for a while. So with the chest, you want the +4 stats all on there. Moving on to the bracers of arcane accuracy. I mean, as you start seeing a pattern, it has the 1% hit. It's massive. It's coming off Broodlord and BWL. So you definitely want to get your hands on this. With all bracers, you can go 7 intellect or 7 stamina. I personally go stamina just in case I'm PvPing. I mean, it's only 70, mana or health at the end of the day. The intellect does give you a little bit more crit chance. I like the stamina because if you're dead, you're not doing any DPS. Let's be real then. Moving on to the gloves. I actually just got these yesterday. I was pretty pumped. Ebony Flame gloves. +43 shadow power, which is massive. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. +43 spell power on the gloves is, just amazing overall. So those are some really great gloves to get. Moving on to the belt, Sash of Whispered Secrets. I actually just got this the other week too. Like I said, the Warlock tier belt is +25 spell power, 1% crit. So personally, I think the tier belt is better, and you're not rolling against like Shadow Priest or anything on this. So I think overall, I would personally, especially because, I mean, later on when you have all the items, great. But I would rather keep my tier 2 bonus by going with the belt, the helm, and the shoulders if you're not rank 10. If you are rank 10, then I would go this belt or the tier belt. Both are arguably, just as good as each other, especially with this one giving you a little health. The pants, like I said, Bloodvine, you're going to get the leg enchant. Boots, Bloodvine. You're going to get the minor speed boost. Some people go with the +7 stamina to their boots. I personally go with the movement speed every time. That extra 70 health I don't think really helps that much compared to being able to move faster, gets you out of fire or whatever the hell you might be standing in. Also helps with world PvP, so I think it's a no-brainer. Now, as far as rings, you're going to have Band of Force Concentration, 1% hit. Coming off Ebon Rock, which is an amazing ring. And then the Band of Dark Dominion, which is a trash drop in BWL. Now these rings, as a side note, you could also get the rings, I believe it's Exalted off ZG Rep. It's a ring bonus set that gives you 3 or 4% hit that with less spell power. I could be wrong on the specifics to it. But ZG also has some great rings, Zandalarian rings, I believe they're called. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below. So that's another option where, I might pass up on the Band Force Concentration because I'm going to get the other rings. In return, like I said, I want this. So like you got to bargain a little bit. Now, the 2 best trinkets pretty much in the game that last for a very long time. Nephilim's tier. This lasts the whole way to phase 6 and through phase 6. Massive. 2% hit and 44 spell power. This is huge. Definitely recommend getting your hands on this. This is where I'd pass up a lot of other items and tell them, like, this is my #1 item I want. I'll pass everything until I get it. Because with it lasting you so long, I mean, you want to get it now just so you're good for many phases. It's one less thing to worry about. You're not constantly replacing it and getting outdated. Now through MC, the Talisman, the big damage boost, I think it ends up being like almost a 10-15% damage boost on boss encounters. I've only seen this thing drop once so far in like 40 MCs. I do an MC run on my main Warlock and then on my alt mage, and I still only seen this thing once. So I hope to get my hands on it one day. Somehow all of my other, classmates or people in my guild have it. Meanwhile, I can't even get to see it drop, let alone a chance to roll on it. So these two rings are going to be, or trinkets are going to be amazing. Moving on to the Staff of Shadow Flame, coming off Neff, massive. 84 spell power, 2% crit, comes with other great base stats. I mean, this is a powerhouse of an item. Now, a lot of guilds will prioritize this actually going to your mages first, which I'm okay with. I personally would rather the Claw of Cro-Magnus or the Mage Blade, because it's one-handed and then I could use any offhand. So for PvP wise, I could use different things to benefit me there. Also, going further, we're gonna look at phase 5 and 6 here in a second, and you're gonna see further phases, it's gonna be a main hand and an offhand, not a staff. So I would rather pass on this, so when phase 5 comes around, they're not like, oh, you already have the staff, you're far down the list. It's like, no, okay, now you can get it. So that's kind of my thought process behind it. Like I said, if they let you get it and you're just in a pug or something, you can roll on it. Yes, get your hands on it, please. But for guild wise, with Luke Council, DKP, I would rather save those points for other things. With all staff and weapons, you're going to get the plus 30 spell power on there. For the wand, Touch of Chaos, plus 18. This is an amazing wand, especially with the damage per second. Right now, I think we're using, plus 11 shadow power. You can buy one of those off the auction house pretty cheap. There's another one that drops in the dungeon that actually has base stats with it, but they're only like 55 damage per second. So this is nice for open world farming, plus an additional 7. What's really nice is, at least during this time, so Frost Mages, they have a wand that's like plus 20, so they don't need it. They will need it when they go fire. But Healing, who usually competes on stuff, they can buy a wand off the auction house that's plus 21 healing, so they're not rolling on it. So there's a high chance as a Warlock you're going to get your hands on this, and this is a great wand. So those are the best in slot, I would say, for phase 4. I agree with most of these. Like I said, I wanted to give you some alternatives in the meantime until you got them all. I love this website. Like I said, it's for all classes, all phases. What my favorite part is looking ahead. So I always jump to like phase 5, phase 6, and I want to see, what's coming up, what should I expect, things of that sort. So with that, looking at phase 5, sorry, I'm super itchy. I think I'm allergic to cats, but I love them too much. Woo! You start to see the Nephilim's Tear still there, the Talisman still there, Bloodvine still there, and then pretty much every other single item ends up switching out. But as you see how they start going main hand to offhand. That's why, like, I mean, if I get the Shadow Flame, great. If not, this is what I want. I would rather pass on that when I could get a main hand that's pretty damn close to just as good. I mean, a little bit less, but then you combo it with this and you're way above it. So you keep looking at further phases, see, what transfers from one phase to another. What do I want to get my hands on? What's going to stay a while? The Rock Fury bracers, those stay from phase 5 to 6. You finally, in phase 6, you're finally going to replace the Bloodvine set. So you're going to use that through phase 4 and 5. You want to craft that day 1. And look at that, still Nephilim's Tear. So if this doesn't tell you something, you want to get your hands on Tear as soon as possible. But I hope this video helped you. If it did, please subscribe, hit the bell notification so you get updates whenever I upload new videos. And please comment below if you do have any, if you think something should be different from what I mentioned, or if you have other alternatives. I love to hear feedback. But until then, guys, game on.